Microsoft has just announced that Xbox One gets Steam-like Xbox Live Creators program, allowing developers to create and publish games on Xbox One and Windows 10 PC very quickly. Stay tuned for more. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Mats and you're watching the Mats Gaming News channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook, so check the links in the description of this video below. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell button to stay up to date with the latest news. With GDC 2017 in full swing, we are getting more and more interesting information regarding Xbox Live, Xbox One, Xbox Scorpio, and other, PC kind of related stuff altogether. Now, one of such very interesting things that Microsoft has actually spoken about during the GDC, and that must have been like 2 days ago, was the Steam-like Xbox Live Creators program. Now, don't get too excited. This does not mean that Xbox is getting Steam games or Steam application. I'm just referring to Steam because the Xbox Live Creators program is actually allowing developers to publish games very easily on both Windows 10 and Xbox One, and obviously Scorpio and any other future consoles in the future, right? So pretty much everyone knows what Steam is all about. It's a PC gaming service. You get to actually install the application, then you can purchase, thousands of PC games via this application and Steam store. And obviously you get all kinds of bundles and sales, what have you. And obviously you get all the games on your PC, you can play them and stuff. So this is basically a digital store, a PC digital store where you pretty much can get every single PC game from, right? Obviously there's still other publishers that do actually own their own stores, like Ubisoft store, Uplay I think it's called, got Origin from Electronic Arts, GOG I believe, and there's a couple of others, Steam-like stores on PC, but Steam is the biggest one. Now, the very interesting thing about Steam is that Steam allows you to actually publish the games very easily. They also offers you some kind of like early access programs and what have you. I mean, generally speaking, Steam is very developer and obviously gamers friendly as well, because not only gamers get all the benefits of huge library of games and cheap price and what have you, but also developers actually benefits of a huge consumer base, because there's over I think 100 or 150 Steam users right now, and obviously they get to publish it very cheaply, or I don't even really know if they have to pay anything for anything, and I'm not entirely sure about the whole certification program, but surely games need to be sort of like approved by Steam, right? And that's not entirely the case, at least not until now, with Xbox and even ID at Xbox programs, because if you are a big publisher and you want to publish a game for Xbox, for example, or even PlayStation 4 for that matter, you need to actually go through a very complicated kind of certification program. So Microsoft actually wants to make sure that the game is actually running fine on Xbox and obviously fits some kind of like Xbox Live and that kind of stuff requirements, right? So that is all being checked, and obviously it costs money as well, because the certificates obviously cost money. Now, there's also ID at Xbox, which is a platform for indie developers, but ID at Xbox still requires you, a couple of certification steps, and obviously the game needs to fall into all the requirements that ID at Xbox actually requires, right? I mean, it needs to use multiplayer, it needs to have achievements, I mean, there's actually a long list of that kind of stuff. So what's with this Xbox Live Creators Program? Well, the thing is that actually changes 2 or 3 things, which allows developers to publish the games even easier. So I mean, ID at Xbox does simplifies the certification and that kind of stuff, publishing kind of program and the process for indie developers, but Xbox Live Creators Program will actually make this even quicker and simpler. First of all, the games published in Xbox Live Creators programs will not be required to support multiplayer and that kind of stuff, and that's not really going to be supported. So that's going to be really for like a smaller single player kind of games probably. If any of the publishers will want to actually add the multiplayer, they will actually have to use the ID at Xbox, right? Now, other thing is that with Xbox Live Creators Program, you can, as a creator, as a game creator, you can actually use your retail version of Xbox One to make games on it, right? Because normally if you are a developer, you actually have to purchase a development kit, software development kit and stuff, which obviously costs money. And that's with both AAA publishers and obviously ID at Xbox developers and publishers as well. But with Creators Program, I mean, every single person in the world can actually become a developer. All they have to do is just register. They have to change the software on their Xbox One, which is super easy, and you don't really have to really do much about it. There's actually a couple of steps where you can actually set the Xbox One in a kind of like a debug mode where you actually can create games on it. And then obviously on top of that, you have the Creators Program, Xbox Live Creator Programs, where actually you can, once you get the game working and ready, you can publish it easily with a very simplified kind of certification program. Now, obviously, there is still some certification program there, because obviously it's not like Xbox and Microsoft will allow every single game on the platform, but it's actually so easier and probably cheaper as well to publish the game, that simply saying everyone can actually make this happen and everyone can actually publish their games on Xbox Live Creators Program. Now, that's actually from the gamer's perspective, this is actually going to be set. I mean, all the games going to be published in like a separate part of the Windows 10 store and Xbox Live store. So you actually going to know that you actually getting those games from like very small indie titles and that kind of stuff, right? So we will have a separate part of the store for ID at Xbox and normal and AAA games, and obviously there's going to be a different kind of part of the store where you will be able to download the Creators Program games. It actually reminds me of the good old Xbox 360 arcade kind of store, where you had those very small, very simple sometimes even games, but very good sometimes. So this is what it's all about, and that's why I'm sort of comparing this to Steam, because it's just like Steam or any other PC. You get, all you need is Xbox One, I mean probably a PC as well. You just need to unlock the development kits, development software on the Xbox, and that's very easy to do. You just obviously need to create games, and you can actually use a couple of tools to do that. There's actually a couple of engines supported by Microsoft right now. They're actually talking about game engines like Construct 2, Monogame, Unity, and Xenco. I mean, Unity is pretty well-known game engine, but Construct, Monogame and stuff, these are very simplified kind of like tools that everyone literally can actually make some games. Surely that still requires some skills and stuff. It's not like myself without any experience, I wouldn't really be able to create a game. Probably not. It would require me some time to actually learn the tools and stuff, play with it a little bit. So if I started now, I would probably be able to publish a game like in next 10 years time, right? You know what I mean? But if you've been playing with such tools before and stuff, and maybe there's some small games that you created already, you can actually publish them on Xbox One without too much of effort and certification. Now, obviously, there's actually good and bad about this program, because the thing with the IDX Xbox is that obviously the longer and more difficult certification program and process obviously makes the games to be better. I mean, not the program makes the games better, but you as a developer will actually have to be more careful what you put on the store. Because, I mean, you can create a game, try to certify it, and obviously Microsoft will just deny the certificate, right? They will dismiss it. So there's no point of trying. So you need to make sure that the game do meet some standards, right? Whereas with creators program, obviously those kind of like quality level will probably drop a little bit. So, at one hand, we will probably get tons of new games, but on the other hand, many of those games are just going to be bad, So, as always with everything, really, there's good and bad, but, I guess, the more games we're going to get, the better. It will actually allow many smaller developer teams, or even like, even individuals, really, to create very, very, very small but sometimes very interesting games as well. So, which is good, because we like that, and internet is full of interesting, very small but simple games that actually many people enjoy. And why wouldn't we want to have the same on Xbox Ones as well? And at the end of the day, you don't really have to kind of like buy every single game. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of like rating system that will kind of tells you what will be actually worth playing and trying out. I'm sure there's going to be some reviews and stuff. So it's actually good that we've got choice. It shows that Microsoft is really serious about Xbox as a platform. So we're not really talking about one particular kind of console or even PC. They're actually thinking about obviously Windows 10, PC, and consoles as this huge gaming platform, and everything actually centers around Windows 10 and Windows 10 services, and even the most recent announcements about the Xbox Game Pass is actually showing that Microsoft is super serious about that kind of stuff. So it's good to see that. And yeah, and I think that wraps up this video, really. So thank you very much for tuning in and obviously sharing all my videos with others. I really do appreciate that. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and if you did, you know the drill. Let me know what you think about it. Comment in the comment section below, hit the like button, subscribe, and you take care. Bye.